Okay. I've been feeling really frazzled and like intense the last few days. So I talked about my last video about how I had this like anxiety attack before work and then I felt literally like extremely better afterwards, and I feel like that's kind of been my process recently because I've been like unpacking a lot internally, and then I think I just get like overwhelmed and I need to rest and like sort of let it all sit, and then I feel better. In the meantime, I've been doing some affirmations, some affirming. I've been telling myself that the more I heal, the more the universe is gonna bring me items that I want. And I honestly have been randomly finding a lot of things that I really wanted. So I thought I'd do a little haul. Everything I'm showing you only cost me £12 total. Some of the stuff is free, and the rest of it is from this big library haul. But it was kind of, I don't know, I feel like I collected like some cool things over the last few weeks or two since I've been affirming that. Okay, we're gonna start off with this library haul. This was the most amazing haul. I was actually, don't tell my bosses. But I was at work and I went out to get groceries for the day for my hostel, and the library near me was having a book sale that I'd forgotten was happening, and there was no customers or anything, so I popped into the library sale. By the time anybody watches these, I won't be working there, so who cares? But yeah, and so I walked in to the book sale. I love a good library book sale. I love the public library, first of all. But I got so many good things, and I would have gotten more, but this month I was like, I need to be conscious about my spending. And they told me to like price it however I want. So I said £12, and I was like, I don't, is that like a good price? And they were like, we don't know either, so it doesn't matter. So let me show you everything that I got. This one was a real true manifestation because I've been really wanting this book, but it's been like in like an off in the distance thing. The Artist's Way. So this one I guess is an extended one called The Artist's Way at Work. And actually, okay, so I really was wanting this book, and so I was really, really happy that I found it. And actually, it made me feel better because astrology haters be gone, but I basically was looking at my solar return chart for next year. And if you don't know about astrology, your solar return chart is basically a chart that you get every year on your birthday, and it basically tells you uh like sort of like a rundown of how your year is gonna go. And mine have been pretty spot on most of the time, like ridiculously spot on. So I do trust my solar returns. And I looked at my solar return for this coming year. If I have my birthday in London, which I will obviously. Here, I had a 12th house Venus again. I have the worst luck. I had 12th house Venus like 2 years ago, and I had the worst like love life that year. It was so bad, and I just had the most traumatic year. So I was like no. But I am of the opinion that anything in your chart, I feel like you never know how it's gonna manifest. You just know that the energy is gonna be there. And I was like, I feel like I can alchemize that energy into something really cool. And then I got the Artist's Way out because I was already thinking, I was like, 12th house Venus, I have a Leo Venus, my 12th house. That's my natal, but it's actually going to be my solar return like next year. And I thought that also is like a very about like spirituality, creativity, and the Artist's Way is supposed to be like, and I was like, oh, I'll write poetry. The Artist's Way is supposed to be like a spiritual sort of like journey through your art. And I was like, I'll start on my birthday. On my birthday, I'm gonna start the Artist's Way. What was he? That was my cat. I'm gonna start the Artist's Way and use it for my poetry and just kind of kickstart it again because I've been working on a really sort of scientific project right now. And I feel like I usually write a lot of poetry, but my poetry just gets kicked off to the side. And I will say, that year, like a few years ago, that I had a 12th house Venus, I started painting, and I also took a poetry class and wrote a lot of poetry. So that was pretty cool. So I do think this year is going to be a year of poetry now that the more sciencey stuff is out of the way. I think by then it will be gone. So that made me happy. And then I'll show this book. It's not that exciting. I just thought it looked interesting. It's called Girl, Goddess, Queen, and it's about Persephone. I just thought it looked good. And this is another extremely specific one that I was like shocked about. I got this Spanish grammar book, and it's like brand new, like not written in, not used anything. And I'd been wanting to get these little grammar books for Spanish and Portuguese because I have been picking up a lot this year working as a nanny for a little girl that speaks Spanish, and then I also work with a little boy who speaks Portuguese. But I think that sometimes I just end up getting comfortable with what works, you know? I've been picking up a lot of Spanish actually. I think my grammar is getting a lot better, but I thought it would be good to actually go back and like sort of look through like the actual, you know, get just a little bit more academic with it and actually internalize the grammatical structures. And I've been wanting to do that for the longest time. So I was pretty shocked when I found this. And again, this was something that I looked at on Amazon, and it was like, I don't know, like 20 pounds or something to buy one. And I was like, okay, in the distant future, I'll get one of these. But I just, yeah. But I was glad that I like manifested it. Along the same Spanish path, this book, okay, so I'm embarrassed with my Spanish even though it's not bad, so I'm not gonna read you the title. But okay, these are the Claire's Bean books, but in Spanish, and this book, but in English, was literally my favorite book when I was like a little girl. I love Utterly Me, Claire's Bean was like my favorite. Actually, when I visited London again, when I came to move my sister into university, I actually bought like the book, Utterly Me, Claire's Bean, and I read it again. And I just thought it'd be such a good thing to practice my Spanish because it's like kind of simple and it's just really, really cute. I literally am just in love with these books. So it just made my inner child happy, and I was really shocked that I found this. And then next we have CDs and DVDs. So there was other CDs I wanted to get because I have a CD player, but I was worried about spending too much money, and I wasn't like extremely passionate about them, but I did get Songs About Jane by Maroon 5. This is such a good album. I wish that Maroon 5 would make music like this again. And I mean, my first concert when I was in the 6th grade was actually Maroon 5. So it made me feel nostalgic. This is such a good one too. It's got She Will Be Loved, Sunday Morning. Yeah. So, oh, This Love is on it too. I didn't even know that. So I'm hyped. I'm actually going to listen to it today. Okay, next we have DVDs. I don't have a DVD player yet, but I'm thinking, I keep imagining that when I get into my own place with a little bit more space, or when I have like my own, like actual flat to myself, like when I'm a bit older and have more money, I want to have a TV and a DVD player and not watch like as much Netflix and stuff like that. I just think it would be fun, and that was like my childhood. Like we had a lot of DVDs and we watched them even up to like high school and stuff like that. I didn't watch as much Netflix as I did. Well, I mean, I did on my own, but with my mom and stuff, she was always watching DVDs. So I'm like, let me start my collection because they had so many good ones that I wish I could have gotten, but I got Skins, so the first season and the second season. I'm really hyped to watch this when I get a DVD player, and it just feels so like UK, like, you know, I feel like I have to watch it. And my sister goes to school in Bristol, and she loves Bristol, so it'd be kind of fun to watch it again at some point in time. Now that I know Bristol well, like I've been to visit her like quite a few times. I want to get my favorite TV show like of all time is My Mad Fat Diary. British TV shows, okay, British teen like TV shows are genuinely the best because I think like the people in them, something that I think is really cool about British shows is that I feel like people just look like normal people, and I feel like the teenagers act like normal teenagers, and they're kind of like gross and weird and stuff. And I feel like American shows, they sort of like glamour, like they like Euphoria and stuff, like they make the teenagers like really sort of polished and sort of like glam, and it's like, I don't know, that's what I like about like British TV shows. So I definitely want to find My Mad Fat Diary as well. If I can find it on DVD, that'd be like it's literally my favorite TV show in the world, which I think makes sense as a psychology person. Okay, then so this one was kind of just like a sentimental vibe, but I found Donnie Darko, and the first time I watched this movie was actually a guy that I really liked showed me this movie for the first time. So I don't know, I just saw it and I was like, aw. So I just got it. But another mental health one kind of, or is it not? Mozart. She is just, Yeah, here. And then I got Romeo plus Juliet, which is just a classic. This was the one that made me like be like, okay, I should get some of these DVDs. They had Juno, they had like so many good ones, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to overspend, and then I don't want to undersell them by getting a bunch of them and being like trying to give them like really lowballing them. So I just went ahead and yeah. But this one made me happy, and it's so pretty, like it's like shiny. So I'm really excited for when I have a TV. Now, this next find is something so incredible, so out of this world, something that I wanted for the longest time, and I thought, when I'm rich, I'll do this, when I'll get this. And I accidentally went to my nanny job when I didn't need to, because it turns out the kid that I was nannying was sick. And I was like, oh, that's so annoying. Like, I'm just gonna go for a walk, and like, who knows? I'll just go have a day out. I never have a day out. And as I was walking, the thing that's cool about London is that people are constantly just putting like these amazing things out onto their curb for you to just get if you want. Like today I was walking and I saw a printer, and I was like, oh, if only I had the space, I would definitely get this because I would love a printer. But look what I found when I was walking around. Are you joking? This is insane. And all of the keys are intact. They're a little bit sticky, but I just need to fix them. Like, I just need to maybe, I don't know if you need to oil them or what. And then I just need to put, like the ribbon in there. Are you joking? Is this not a sign that I'm going to be writing a lot of poetry next year? Like, The Artist's Way. And then this is crazy. When I saw this, I was like, are you serious that they're just dropping this off on the curb? Like, this is crazy. And they had it open so you could see it was a typewriter. And that's when I knew, I was like, my affirmations are working, because there's no way I just started walking around and now I have a typewriter. Like, what? It's crazy. But yeah, this has just been like, yeah. So that's just my little haul. This is a very short video, but I was like, wow, I'm getting so many cool things recently, and I was just like feeling really excited about everything I got. And I feel like it was kind of just like, I feel like my wish list of items recently has just been getting like ticked off, and this was free, and then the books, the movies, everything were like, I gave them £12 total. And the craziest thing is that actually they were selling cakes, and I was like, they were like, it was like these like really sweet old ladies, and they're like, you sure you don't want a piece of cake? Like, we'll give them to you half off. Like, they're trying to get rid of them. And I just felt too bad to tell them that I can't eat gluten. So I was like, oh, I'll just give it to someone at the hostel. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And so I was like, yeah, sure. And then I went over there, and I was like, those are really pretty cupcakes. I didn't see those. And she was like, yeah, they're gluten-free. What? I was like, that's crazy, because I can't eat gluten. So I was like, yeah, oh, I'll take those instead. And then they gave me a free one too. So I don't know, it was a great haul, but nobody will ever tell me that manifestation is fake, because again, this is literally like my whole wish list that I had of things. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna have the money for those things like in any sort of upcoming time, like the grammar book, because these are things that are like not necessary. So when I have money, I'm never like, oh, okay, I'm gonna run and get that. A typewriter, what? And then like the grammar book, and like the 2 seasons of Skins. It wasn't like on my manifestation list per se, but just like I was already on Pinterest like a few days ago looking at like pictures of people like who had like TV set up with a bunch of like their DVD player, like, and thinking like, oh, I can't wait to have a collection. And then like even just like the strangeness of this being my favorite childhood book, and I've just been thinking like, oh, I want to find more books in Spanish. And every time I go to the store, like, I'm never really intrigued by anything, because for some reason they only ever have like Harry Potter, and like they always have Harry Potter, and then they'll have like really sort of intense classics that I'm not that interested in. So I was really shocked to see this. This was literally my favorite. She kind of looks like me. That's why I think I liked her as a kid, and I think Clarice Bean like definitely had my vibe. But yeah, I've been reflecting a lot this year on how like I think that we get so attached to like this is for the people who are into manifestation. We get so attached to the idea of like how something is going to come into our lives. and we get so attached to the limitations of like how something would normally happen. Like, I guess I thought, like, okay, if I want something, I'm gonna manifest like money to like, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna get like the money or gonna get a job so then I can get these things. But I feel like so many things have filtered into my life this year with like no money. Like, okay, I'm gonna get money so then I can get like a higher salary so then I can buy myself Uggs. But then like I was walking around and I just found Uggs that are cuter than like even the ones that I would imagine myself getting at a charity shop, like a thrift store. So I was like, I feel like the universe will bring you things. Like if you are truly wanting something, desiring something, it really doesn't matter what the external circumstances are, like literally at all. There's like any limitation that you could have literally does not matter at all. Like it will come into your life still at whatever level you're at. Like what I'm going to open this typewriter again. Let's look at this typewriter that I got for free on the street, all of the keys working, better than one I probably would have like gotten like anywhere else. For free. For free. And the universe will really take you where you need to go, because it happened to be that day I went all the way down, all the way to like an hour away to where my job is on the other side of town, like South London. And then I happened to not see the message about my job because my WhatsApp happened to be too full. And then I happened to go for a walk in that area in a street that I never go down. I was like, let me go down that street today. And upon walking, I found this typewriter. So I think like the world will bring you what you need at the level that you are. And it's like, I feel like you just shouldn't get attached to like thinking that you need to be like, oh, I need to be like at this level to get this thing that I want. It's like, no, it will come for you now. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it will be in your life now. Like, if you're at the energy of just like receiving and just, yeah, and just affirming that you're going to have the things that you want and that the things that you want can come to your life, they will come into your life. Like, it does not matter. Like, you will be surprised, So that's just been my sort of like my thought process recently. And I've just been shocked by how my wish list has just been getting like of items this year has just been getting like tick by like all these little circumstances, hiking boots, Ugg boots, typewriter, all the books I want. Like everything has just been like tick. It's been pretty crazy. So highly recommend affirming that to yourself.